What up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunslinger Gaming Frosty Pints podcast. I'm Gobi. With me tonight is DrNiggle, OmegaConstruct, Zero Burn. Sit back and enjoy the ride, because it could be a bumpy one. By the way, happy belated birthday to Omega, and I see you are completely lost in Space Engineers again.
I decided to readdress an old favorite game just for nostalgia purposes. I don't think I'll be playing it too much for too long, but give it a go, see what's changed, see if it's any better, see how I like it. It's kind of fun.
When was the last time you played it?
Oh, it's been a couple of years at least. I can't. Here, let me check my save file list.
While he's doing that, Niggle, you had some shenanigans. Something about a driller and pistons and conveyor and boom.
Oh, Omega. Well, Omega could probably talk about this more. He started a game, a survival on the alien planet, because neither of us had ever been on the alien planet or started off there before. And yeah, he was having a hell of a time finding uranium and was doing everything battery powered, and that was getting to be a pain in the ass. So he brought up the idea of creating a mobile base, and I was all for that. And we used the biggest wheels in the game to create this huge six-wheeled kind of truck that was just a mobile base.
I mean, it's going to be a behemoth of a vehicle when it's completed.
It is a gaudy monstrosity with just everything attached onto it. It is going to look ridiculous, and it's going to function. It is pure function over form. The purest form, and it will do everything that we want it to, I hope.
It's going to be good.
And then maybe you'll polish the turd a little later. Smooth out the edges a little bit.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, while we were building something yesterday, there was an explosive mishap.
We were visited by the space engineer god Clang.
He is a very vengeful god.
Clang is great and
there
powerful.
There are a few things you could do to invoke his wrath, and we were playing with those things, and it led to some troubles.
Yeah, there are pistons in the game which extend and retract, and there are rotors which spin around, exactly like their names would suggest. And there are also merge blocks in the game which lets you merge one grid with another. And I don't think that anyone in the development team intended for those things to be used together, but we can, so obviously we do. And merging 8 pistons together and then trying to paste them onto something using creative mode resulted in a glorious explosion, which was very pretty and did a lot of damage.
Yeah,
makes total sense.
Kind of tore the whole thing in half. And that's why in Space Engineers, before you try anything experimental, you always quick save.
Control F5. It was good times. So yeah, that's Space Engineers.
Yep.
Still gloriously broken.
But it looks nice.
Does look
at
nice.
least it looks pretty. Before we get into something that's going to take like forever, Remnant from the Ashes is still free on Epic. You should probably pick it up. It is quite a bit of fun. We'll warn you, the first couple of bosses, you probably need at least a co-op partner to be with you because they're not fun solo. After that, you have some room to explore and level up and even the playing fields and whatnot, and makes it a lot easier. But the first couple, you're definitely going to want a co-op partner to take on the bosses.
Now, Kobe, what is Remnant from the Ashes?
It's like Dark Souls with guns. And you're shooting freeze.
Now, Kobe, what is Dark Souls?
If you don't know what that is, you probably should stop playing video games.
I think we've all picked it up on Epic just because it's free. I don't think I've ever bought anything on Epic. I think I've just collected free games.
that's all I've pretty much, well, with the exception of Breakpoint, all of my son's games on Epic have been the free ones, and he has a pretty massive collection there. It's pretty close to 50 games already.
It's a lot of
Not
free
all of
games.
them are not all of them are good. I mean, some of them are fun to play a couple of times. The Drawful 2 is a great party game. It's like Jack in the Box, but drawing. Yeah. But onto the fun stuff, because this is what everybody really wants to talk about, and everybody here is a huge Fortnite fan, so this is a big deal.
Gobi, how dare you? There's no fun on this podcast.
I know you're all a bunch of fun suckers. So the first thing is this massive legal document that these guys are making me read. And it is massive.
You don't have to read. It's not that big. It's only 65 pages, and there are pictures.
There are pictures. It's pretty cool. I will say that's the first time I've seen pictures in a court document.
Actually, now that you say that, I don't think I've ever seen a picture in a court document. I've seen a diagram. I don't think I've ever seen a picture in a court document.
No, they're usually attached to the court document as evidence or whatever, depending on what kind of court it is. But yeah, I've never seen them like embedded in the document.
Anyway, yeah, the point is a 65-page legal document that was released by Epic, and it details what Epic is taking Apple to court for, and
Omega is apparently read.
Yeah, Omega might be able to speak to this more. He has a theory about how this situation evolved.
Let's hear it. Popcorn, ready?
Well, you haven't actually described what's happened. So, Fortnite decided to make their mobile game take direct payments, which is against the terms of service of the Apple App Store. The way the App Store works is if an app, if you're going to buy something in an app, you buy it through the App Store, and the App Store takes their cut. And it's against the terms of services to put direct purchases or direct payments in a game or in an app on the App Store. Well, Epic went ahead and did it. Apple took them off the App Store, so Epic sued them for it. This was a deliberate act by Epic to challenge Apple's policies on forcing people to go through them as a third party for all payments. Google took them off the Google Play Store as well. So this is a pretty significant legal challenge in like the landscape of mobile gaming. And it's I don't know, it's really it's super interesting. This was a very deliberate move by Epic. They actually made everybody should go watch this. They made a parody of Apple's famous 1984 ad against IBM, and like they parodied it in Fortnite. And it's beautiful, and it's I don't know, they're basically calling out Apple for their hypocrisy from where they came from as a company to the globally influential monstrosity that it is today. So they planned all this. They knew this was going to happen, and this is Epic taking their shot at taking down one of the big guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. When I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh God, this is going to piss off so many kids, and it's going to irritate so many parents." Because it essentially is, Apple straight up has a corner on the market, and that's it. And and I get what Epic's trying to do, and it's good that somebody's finally standing up to Apple and trying to, quote, take back what needs to be taken back and actually put the money back in the hands of these developers.
Yeah, I think it's what's really interesting is that it's setting up a pattern of behavior of sorts from Epic, because Epic likes to throw their weight around. They've forced PlayStation into doing crossplay for Fortnite by throwing their weight around. Like they know how to get shit done, and it's because of that I'm almost hesitant to be like, yeah, way to go, Epic, fighting against big evil Apple, because all they're doing is using their fan base to. Because you made a great point. Like, if those games are off the App Store, kids can't play them, and then you have millions of kids and their parents having to hear about how their kids are upset about it. And they're going to yell at Apple about it. Why isn't this game on the App Store? So Epic, this is a really shrewd, smart, manipulative business move by Epic, and I like it.
I definitely didn't make a point about Epic using their fan base earlier when this lawsuit came out. So, nuts to that.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see. So much. The funny part, what happened to all those people that just bought V-Bucks on iOS and now they can't even play their game or use them?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, say you spent $100 on fucking V-Bucks like right before the app got taken off the App Store.
Well, and here's the thing: you gave that money to Apple. So who are you going to go after to get that money back? Are you going to go after Fortnite, or are you going to go after the App Store where you paid that money?
Oh, see, and that's a touchy one, because you can't, if you go after Apple and they do whatever, Epic bans your account. From what I've heard.
I don't know, but see, with this lawsuit, I don't know that Epic would do that now. I think that they would stand their ground and they would let you to continue to play if you have access to it. Now, of course, I've gotten rid of my Apple device, and I don't know of anybody who has an Apple device that plays Fortnite myself. And I've got
if they
kids
take
that
a
are in
game
that area.
off the App Store, is it still playable on the phone if you keep it installed? Or is it just like unplayable because it can't update?
I think it depends on the app and how integrated they are into the App Stores or the Google Play Store's ecosystem. Much like with Steam.
No, I mean, I know how it works on Android. I'm asking about Apple. Like they took it off of Apple,
I'm
like
saying
the Apple Store.
I imagine it's not too dissimilar, where it depends on the game, and I'm saying that I don't know what it is for Fortnite or how integrated they are with the App Store in terms of their servers or other services. Well, I don't think any of us play mobile Fortnite, so none of us can really speak to this.
Well, on Android, you just sideload the app and it still runs on Fortnite. Fortnite still runs on mobile Android. The only people who are affected are iOS users, because they can't sideload apps because of the way their store works. So the reason Zero is saying that he had an Apple device, if they remove an app from the market, but it's installed on your Apple device, does it still work, or is it just basically defunct because it can't update?
Right, here is the quote from the developer's site at apple.com. The question is, if my app is removed, will current users of the app be able to access my app? And the answer is yes. Your app will remain fully functional for current users. They will experience no interruption to services and will still be able to buy in-app purchases. So if your app is removed from the Apple Store, according to development and Apple, you can still use the app.
Right, but now what happens because like Fortnite, it has to update, which means they have to push an update to the app. What happens when they push that update? How does that get to the app on Apple if it's not in the store?
I would assume just based on this that the update is not pushed and the app is just outdated and you
it's
won't be able to
defunct.
use it.
Yeah, so then it's defunct. So then, okay, yeah. That's would make their lawsuit have more weight, I guess. Because basically now they're... Yeah.
Well, we haven't even gotten to what the lawsuit has touched on. It started off, as far as any of us knew, to be just Epic suing Apple for taking this off the App Store because Apple didn't like that they were Epic was bypassing their cut for any in-app purchases. The 65-page document here is turning this into a full-fledged antitrust lawsuit, saying that Apple effectively has a monopoly on all applications installed onto their operating system because the App Store is the sole way to install apps onto iOS devices. And yeah, they're going after an antitrust lawsuit. So yes, Gobi, to answer your question, yeah, it would cripple Fortnite, and it would effectively be a way to just cut people off from this permanently. Which is, I as far as I understand, antitrust, that is a monopoly.
that might be the exact definition.
I am a doctor.
The dancing, minus the dancing and the shiny balls.
I mean, if kids can't get shiny balls on their Apple devices, I can understand how that would be upsetting.
I definitely can see how that can be upsetting. Almost as upsetting as another game being pushed back.
We're done talking about Apple already. I wanted to rag on Apple a little bit.
Okay.
That's fine.
You want to rag? Go for it.
We can talk about Halo. I just think Apple, this is an ancient argument why I don't use iOS devices or Apple devices. It's just because their hardware's gotten better through the years. But you're paying for style, not for functionality. You're paying because your device is just so pretty. So Apple was whatever. What's even the point? Come on, PCs, so much more fun. Build your device, guys. Be like Henry Cavill.
Yes.
Minus the Superman movies. Be like Henry Cavill.
Ooh, deep cut, but yes, I agree.
So Halo Infinite has been pushed back to 2021. Although it doesn't say when in 2021. Which...
Soon.tm.
Well, are they going to say, oh, well, fuck it, let's just release it at holiday of 2021 because, that's when Halo releases? Or are they going to go for a spring release? Or, how bad is this news? That is a question I'm asking. I mean, is this just, or, oh, fuck. No thoughts?
I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be one of those things where if they're pushing this back, do we think they're actually going to push the release of next-gen consoles back? Is that next?
Ooh.
I mean,
what good is a next-gen console if you don't have any games?
Exactly. And it's... When all of this started, we all knew that everything was going to be affected. And it's just a matter of, okay, what's the next shoe that's going to drop?
Yeah. See, we're just balls of joy tonight. Balls of fucking joy. Wow. Let's just keep it up, and should we keep going with the how Bungie had to shut down?
Can I talk about this?
Have at it, buddy.
This is great.
Go for it, buddy.
This is absolutely fucking amazing because this just shows that Bungie is still doing their same shit over and over and over again. It just proves my point and why I no longer play the game.
You mean they didn't learn from their other mistakes?
Bungie learning from something. That's funny. I hope Deej is listening to this, prick. European, I don't even know what it's called. The EAZ weekly challenges were disabled due to an issue causing powerful gear rewards to not be granted upon completion. This is the same thing that happened at the release of Shadowlands, and it took them almost a full year to get it fixed. And this is just for the Solstice of Heroes event, which runs for about 4 weeks. And
So 8
4 or 5
weeks
weeks.
after it's done, they'll have it fixed.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, cool. Well, at least we got that to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Okay, now Bungie's also pushing the new expansion that's getting ready to come out. Okay, well, are you going to push that out now that you've completely fucked players on getting their powerful gear and being able to grind up to the power level cap, the soft cap, or
Ooh.
are you
Let's
going
ask
to
the
just
eliteness.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah, no, it's just a matter of Bungie is doing the same thing and they're not learning. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, how does the saying go? Those who don't remember history are doomed to repeat it.
All right, now just because this seems like that kind of podcast, let's go with the devil's advocate. I mean, is it really a mistake if people throw all this money at them and just say, "Take my money for this broken ass content"? I mean, can we really blame them for continually making the same mistakes if it pays so well?
Oh no, I mean I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
I mean it's one of those situations where people are Bungie has its core people that truly enjoy the game. Good for them. But at the same time, it's getting a little old and people are going to start getting pissed off. This is why Warcraft saw such a huge loss in their player base when Battle for Azeroth came out, because everybody was burned out with Titan forging and all of this different crap. And then what did Blizzard do? They turned around and they essentially did the same thing again, only they changed it from Titan forging to corruption. And it never really took off. And they literally, the first thing they said when they announced Shadowlands is, we're not doing Titan forging, we're not doing corruption, we're not doing any of that. This is going to be a build your own character the way you want to build them. And it is actually working out. People are very excited about what Blizzard is doing with WoW going into Shadowlands, because I've been playing a little bit of the pre-patch and it's a far and away shot from where it is currently. And it's just the pre-patch stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do. Now, Bungie, on the other hand, they're never going to learn from their mistakes. They just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, Fallout has finally, well, they've learned from some of their mistakes, and they're finally deciding to join the rest of, we'll call it 21st century nowadays. So they're doing something called One Wasteland, which is basically the same thing that the Division 2 does, or Bungie does. Like, a high-level player and a low-level player playing together. They both shoot the same person, the same enemy or whatever. It does high damage to the high-level player and low damage to the low-level player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's the big thing that's coming that they're testing in their PTS. Again, like I said, I think in chat, the game is where it should have been at release. It only took them, 2 years? Yes, almost 2 years. Almost.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I mean, they got that cane. I mean, but hey, at least they're crossing the finish line. Or trying. Bungie's still tripping over its shoelaces, but it's going fast. Everybody's second favorite Origin in EA. They're combining. So now they're all going to be EA Play and EA Play Pro.
Wait, what is this?
The EA Access and Origin Access will combine under new EA Play banner. So it's going to be EA Play is the cheap cheap tier, and EA Play Pro is the expensive tier.
I didn't know the EA Access was the thing. I just have Origin. I don't actually play any games on Origin anymore. I used to play Mass Effect on Origin, but it's been years. Good for them, I say.
I'm more confused after reading one paragraph because they decided to compare it to HBO Max and HBO Now, and yeah. Anyway, so they're combining and they're all now EA Play and EA Play Pro. I don't think anybody really cares because I don't think any of us use this. I think Leetness was the only one, or no, he did the Uplay Plus.
No, didn't he also have Origin for a while or something? He was trying back when Mass Effect came out.
Maybe. I know he does like the Xbox Game Pass, and he had Uplay Plus for a while. I don't know if he still does or not.
Right.
But yeah, I don't. The rest of us, we don't really. We still like old fashioned.
Yeah, we don't. That's I don't even know any good titles besides sports titles that are on Origin.
With single player games, Crisis 3 if you like shooter, but it's a short story. Battlefield if you like multiplayer PvP. Dead Space series is pretty decent for horror, whatever you want to call that genre.
Horror.
Horror. Oh, and well, I guess Need for Speed is racing games, which are sports games. So yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Oh, and Titanfall, and Titanfall 2. Those are good shooters. Probably the only reason to actually have Origin is Mass Effect and Titanfall. If you're a glutton for punishment, there's also Star Wars. No.
Oh, Star Wars, that's right.
I don't play any of the games.
I thought about getting the new Jedi one on Steam, but like, I don't know. At the same time, it just did not look like. Yeah. So Zero, you want to talk about the Xbox X?
Honestly, no. But since I was the one that added the article, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's they've announced that the Xbox X is getting ray tracing and it's going to have machine learning. They released the specs for both of those. The ray tracing and ray triangle units, 380G per second, Raybox peak, which of course I have no idea what any of this is, but I'm assuming it's good. Net performance depends on the bandwidth it depends on your bandwidth and the number of nodes tries visited per ray, whatever that means. It's minor area cost for 3 to 10 times acceleration.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yes. Okay. Well, as long as it makes sense to somebody. The machine learning interface acceleration for gaming character behavior and resolution scaling. It's a very. They're saying it's going to have a very small area cost, with a 3 to 10 times performance improvement. 32-bit HDR format for rendering, blending, and display. So, I mean, It sounds like they are essentially trying to make the Xbox, or as Doc and Omega are affectionately calling it, the Xbox Sex.
It's gonna catch on, man.
It eventually it will,
You heard it here first.
but it sounds like pretty much what they're trying to do is they're just trying to make the Xbox Series X compete with low end, mid-tier desktops. Is what I'm gathering.
That's
Okay.
great.
So,
Oh, the kids like the ray tracing nowadays.
the only game I've ever played with ray tracing on it was Minecraft, if that tells you anything.
Oh, that's right. They did that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bedrock, I think it was Bedrock.
yeah.
So
Bedrock.
PlayStation has it, right? They've announced they have ray tracing. Now
Mhm.
Xbox announces they have ray tracing. Is AMD the only AMD PC processors the only game that
Get
haven't?
ready. Say these all use AMD GPUs. Both Xbox Series X and PS5 both use AMD GPUs and CPUs. So
Which is great.
I thought ray tracing was an Intel thing.
NVIDIA.
Well, NVIDIA started, yes, but AMD will have ray tracing. They've announced that they will have. It's not here.
Yeah, to clarify,
You don't have it.
To clarify, a processor is not a thing that will do ray tracing. A GPU definitely will, and NVIDIA did start it with the RTX 2080, but AMD has also put it out on all of their latest GPUs as well. So I'm just happy that Microsoft and Sony are using AMD architecture in their new consoles. Good competition.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Trying to
And
keep the Intel boys and the NVIDIA kids on their toes.
yeah. I ain't got nothing.
I mean, this has been a fairly brief overview of everything that we had to talk about. I think the Fortnite Apple situation is what is going to, really drive gaming news for the foreseeable future.
That is significant.
It is. It really is.
Time. Yeah, I'm happy to see that.
That is a big story. It can't be understated. It's been a while since we've seen a company publicly and openly take on another like this in such a dramatic way. It's kind of
I mean, when was the last high-profile antitrust case? That was back when we were in high school.
Apple removed Fortnite from the Apple Store and has informed Epic that on Friday, August 28th, Apple will terminate all our developers' accounts and cut Epic off from iOS and Mac development tools.
Ooh,
Spiteful.
petty.
We are asking the court to stop this retaliation. Details here, and it's in a tweet. Thanks, Sophie.
there you go. So this is corporate warfare. This is two companies going at each other in the legal landscape, and it's going to be interesting. This will have major repercussions on the mobile gaming landscape in the future. This case will set a precedent one way or another that will change, or it'll either change the way that things work now in mobile gaming, or it will solidify the way things work now as the way it's going to be forever.
So it sounds like they have filed a motion now for a temporary restraining order against Apple because of all this, on top of...
Well, what is the restraining order for?
Well, I'm assuming it's to stop them from being removed from the tools from iOS and Mac.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense.
That would be my guess. I mean, I haven't really like dove into and actually read this, but it's another huge, long legal document.
But yeah, that makes sense.
So when was this first announced?
I saw it, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere midweek. That's when I put the stuff on the topic list.
Okay, so looking at, and this is just I'm looking because I'm a money guy. I went and looked at Apple's stocks, and their 1 month stocks on the 6th, they were at 455.61 per share. By Tuesday, they had dipped to 437.50 per share, and that was, I'm assuming, because it took a hard dip on that day. And I mean, of course, what, $29? Not even that. Just right at $20. Isn't much of a dip for a company that's getting $437 per share, but they've steadily gone back up and only gone down a couple of dollars since then.
Yeah, you think that an antitrust lawsuit would do a little more damage than that, but the night is young.
Yeah.
Well, and this one just was released. The restraining order, if it goes through, that's dated today. Like, this is just done today. This might have more effect tomorrow as well, especially on trading with antitrust and now a restraining order.
I mean, the memes have already started.
I mean, they're showing the after hours trading on Apple. They've actually kind of leveled off at $459 a share. They're up 0.12% year to date.
Yeah,
So,
we're still early in like none of the litigation has started.
Oh no, I look for them if this goes through and they end up actually winning this case. If they win this case, their stock will take a hit. And that's just because there will be a lot of people who will move and will lose faith in Apple for doing this.
Well,
wait, if Apple wins, their stock will take a hit? Is that what you're saying?
No, if Epic wins.
If Epic wins, if Apple loses.
If anything, it's not going to be sentiment that this is capitalism we're talking about. Come on, greed is the primary motivator here. No one gives a shit about sentiment or how people's feelings or any crap like that. If anything, if people are going to move along, it will be because their Ouija board told them to, which is perfectly valid, or because they. The Apple has lost the competitive edge, the whole monopoly that they have for delivering content on the App Store, or maybe people will like Apple even more than this. They'll start investing more because there will be more than just the App Store as an option to deliver content. Who knows? Who can say?
Well, in order for that to happen, though, I mean, one way Epic wins and it forces Apple to open up their ecosystem and allow you to sideload apps, or they realize they're going to lose and as a PR move, open up sideloading to apps to save face. Those are the only two options that are good for anybody.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, as we're talking about this, I gotta say, even if Apple sees that they're gonna lose this case for whatever reason, and they're like, okay, we need a delivery system other than the App Store, all the rest of that. In any event, they are still a corporation, and they can just flippantly decide no more Epic products on the Apple Store, and nobody can really do anything about that. So no matter how this turns out, I'm not really seeing Fortnite ever being available on an Apple device again.
Oh no. I agree with that 100%.
Well, if they allow sideloading of apps, then it's possible. The only other option that they could have besides opening up a backdoor is something might be sounding even crazier, is allow the Google Play Store onto their ecosystem, because that's just about as a closed ecosystem as the Apple Store. So it's not like you're just adding another closed ecosystem. And
Well,
it's
I
not like
mean,
the apps are any better on Google Play. I mean,
I mean, there's a lot of spam.
oh yeah,
There's
Google are far worse because, for all the valid complaints about Apple's practices and the way that they manage their app store, they do maintain a higher standard of quality than the Google Play Store.
absolutely.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
they definitely have a higher bar. I mean, that's the price you pay for having an open ecosystem. Obviously, I love Google and the ecosystem, the open system. So I understood that, and I take that with it's a negative. It's just what it is. What it is. I mean, but I've also taken advantage of the side loading, and the ability to root my own phone and stuff like that. I mean, you can't legally jailbreak an iPhone, and I mean that. You cannot legally jailbreak an iPhone. You can jailbreak iPhones and sideload apps. You just can't legally do it.
I mean,
What
not if you're
legal-
using the
what's
iOS.
preventing you from doing it?
Google, Apple's terms of service.
yeah,
because
Apple's terms of
again,
service.
it's like you didn't actually buy the iOS. You may have bought the hardware, but you have a leasing agreement with it. It's that horse shit, and that's not entirely enforceable in every single state. If I
I was about to
understand
say, that was my question. You say it's illegal. Well, just because the terms of service says something doesn't make it legally binding.
Yeah,
but
states have their own thing
okay.
going on.
Yeah, but if I say that and it's illegal in somebody's states and they do that, they could technically come after us. So it's illegal.
No, they can't.
You at your own risk.
There's a
your own
disclaimer
risk.
on every single one of these that says we actually don't know what we're talking about, and I make shit up all the time.
Yes, I'm just
But
saying.
you have to trust him because he is a doctor.
That's right. I am a doctor, which means that I know everything, and everything that I say is true, especially all my lies.
I mean, they're true in your head, so that's all that matters.
When I close my eyes, the sun disappears.
Must be nighttime.
Jesus
Oh,
fucking Christ!
God.
I am a millennial.
Wait, you mean the Earth revolves around the sun?
No,
it's not flat.
No, we live in a geocentric universe, and I am the geo.
No, the Earth is flat, and if I can walk off the edge of it, man, and I'll just fall into nothingness. They have
Didn't
rockets that tell me so.
Yeah, right. Didn't some loser like a couple months ago prove that the Earth is flat definitively or something?
He attempted, I think. We haven't heard from him since.
Whatever happened to who's the guy that did the opening to Crisis 2? BYOB or something like that. B.O.B. The rapper. Whoever
Yes, B.O.B. Yeah,
B.O.B. Okay, yeah, that guy. Okay, the rapper who did the opening song to Crisis 2, which I actually liked. I really liked it. Turned out to be a flat earther, and he started up a GoFundMe campaign. He wanted like $25,000 to prove that the Earth was flat, and then he bumped it up to $100,000 because of expenses. And everybody just knew. No, he bumped it up because he wanted more money. So that's the status of the flat earthers right now. Also, their subreddit is dead, but it kicked up a couple days ago because somebody went in there and made an amazing discovery one morning. I don't know what it is because the mods have deleted it. And I didn't think that you could actually delete anything permanently on Reddit, but I can't view what the moderators clipped.
That's neat. That's a cool trick. We should figure out how they did that. So
Yeah, right. So that you can clip my comments on the GS subreddit.
Click them and highlight them.
It's just
Put
me
them all on a
correcting.
sticky topic.
It's me correcting people's spelling. It's the most annoying bullshit on the planet. I'm such a fucking troll.
I was gonna go grammar Nazi. That might be worse than a troll at this point.
Whatever. It's the same thing. It's definitely one or the other.
Yeah.
What was it? I saw something that said, oh my god, it was something about the Earth. What is it?
It was the Kristen Dunst quote.
Oh, I think actually it may have been her.
Is Kirsten Dunst a flat earther?
Yes, she is.
What?
Cool.
I was just saying because of the oh my god.
Oh, here we go. The Flat Earth Society. Hi, Elon. Thanks for the question. Unlike the Earth, Mars has been observed to be round. We hope you have a fantastic day. The fuck is wrong with people?
Well, yeah, we can't observe Earth because we're on Earth. But astronauts have. Maybe we should take their word for it.
You mean these people who are extremely qualified and represent some of the best minds in humanity that have been chosen to go into space and learn about the cosmos? Those people? You mean listen to them?
No, you're right. They're fucking crazy. We should never listen to them.
I don't have
They're
anything in common with an
fucking
astronaut.
Oh,
I mean, dude,
here it
they
is.
were
Here-
in
I-
nothingness
I
for
found the-
weeks. They can't be
the
sane.
quote. I found the quote that made me laugh so hard I nearly pissed and shit myself. The Flat Earth Society posted on Twitter. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that.
Did somebody seriously what?
That
Spell check
is-
must have got them.
that is hopefully somebody smart making it a very good joke. That is a wonderful joke.
And then somebody, of course, responds and says, "Say that again, but
Yeah.
slowly." Oh God, it's so much fun taking the piss out of fucking flat earthers, man. It's great.
Aaron,
Gravity, they don't know how gravity works, and it's a wonderful thing.
I'm
I mean,
trying.
they can't help it. They're just so flat.
Get out.
I am,
Remove him from the chat now. That was a terrible joke, Gobi.
Man, you're just pissed because you can't go flat out.
I'm trying to find definitively whether or not Kirsten Dunst is a flat earther.
Dude, I literally yanked
No.
I yanked that shit out of my ass. If I'm right, I swear to God.
It'd be hilarious. That really would be funny. I haven't found anything so far, except for a movie called Melancholia, which has to do with flat Earth, or an Earth,
The only
not
thing-
even flat, just Earth.
That would make is the her in the oh my god gif. Yes. From any one of her movies. I mean, she said it in what? I mean, wait, how many movies was she in?
At
She was
least
in the
50.
Spider-Man movies. The first ones, with the second best Spider-Man.
With Seabiscuit?
Oh my God.
That was a good
Yes.
cut. Okay. Since we've completely gone off the rails, the podcast is over. Good night, everybody. The last thing I saw Kristen Dunst in was actually Fargo, where she played the wife of the butcher dude. She was really good in that.
I mean,
I think Spider-Man might have actually been the last movie I seen her in. Oh
she-
wait, Wimbledon.
she's not the worst actress on the face of the planet.
No, if you find a role that you're good at and you slip into that, you really dedicate yourself to it and all the rest of that, you are usually pretty fucking good. She had that with the character in Fargo. I'll say that much. I haven't seen a lot of stuff that she's been in. I saw the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I probably saw another movie that she was in. I don't know.
It's just like, she's found her niche, just like Kathy Bates found hers. Psycho stalker that likes to kill people. It
Kathy-
works for her.
Yeah, Kathy Bates in American Horror Story. I think
God, she's brilliant.
She was in Misery, and that's when I think the ball started rolling. And from then on, yeah, she pick some really amazing psycho parts to play.
She either does really good psycho parts, and I hate to say it this way, or she plays the butch lesbian in Melissa McCarthy movies. One of the two.
I have never seen her in a Melissa McCarthy movie, and I think I'm a better person for it.
Yes, you would be correct. You are a better person for it.
I haven't seen anything that Kristen Dunst has been in, any movies since Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man might have been chronologically the last movie she was in, but not the last one I've seen.
No, not chronologically. That was Spider-Man 3 was 2007. She's been in something once per year since then. Yeah, it looks like at least one thing a year. You got to keep that Screen Actors Guild membership. You got to do that, otherwise SAG drops you. You lose all your health benefits.
She was in Drunk History. That's amazing.
She was, yeah, she was in Drunk History. I must have seen that then. And she was in Black Mirror. Okay, yeah, I saw her in Black Mirror, and I saw her in Fargo, and I probably saw her in Drunk History.
I almost want to go watch the Drunk History one just to see what kind of drunk she is.
Oh no, she would have been one of the people enacting the story that was being told by a drunk person, because they always get comedians to do the stories. And a actress she may be, but a comedian I don't think so.
No, definitely not a comedian.
I was looking up Kevin Sorbo on IMDb too.
Oh God,
Hercules.
Yeah. Hercules. Hercules' career has taken a very sharp downward turn since 1998.
Let's see.
Much like
he is insane.
Yes, he is. He's gone conservative Christian politician, political commentator on Twitter. The funny thing is that none of it is official. It's just him using Twitter to be crazy. I can't figure out if it's an act or if he's just doing it for shock value. But yeah, he's a psycho.
He's trying to revitalize his
went
career.
off the deep end.
Oh yeah. He definitely did.
The last thing I saw him in was an episode of like Hawaii 5-0, I think, and it was like season 2 or some shit, and they're on like what, season 11?
Wait, seriously, he was in Hawaii 5-0?
Yeah, like one episode. It would have been in the same season that the
I'm looking.
chick from Lucifer was in.
I don't see it here, but I'll take your word for it.
I think that was second season. Yeah, he was like her dad, or yeah.
Like I saw 2 episodes of Andromeda, and I was just like, okay, this is not for me. And that was the end.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Okay, 2010, he was in Hawaii 5-0, 1 episode as Carlton Bass.
Yes, he was a surfer, a surf CEO.
The fuck was he doing on the OC? everybody remember that show, the OC on Fox?
He was on Hawaii 5-0. No questions asked. He's on the OC. What the fuck was he doing there?
When I think of the OC, I think of people who are under 20 years old, because that's all that show was.
Okay. Fair point.
See, he must have been playing somebody's grandfather.
So the only thing that I have to say about any actor or actress's career, you know that your career has gone the absolute way of shit when you end up on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit as the perp. That's when you know your career is over.
No, just rewind that a little bit. When you end up on Law and Order SVU.
You know what? I have to give respect to that show because it's been around for God knows how long. Was it 25 seasons, 26 seasons now?
I don't even know. It's one of those shows you just have to make fun of because of the the noises. And
let's be perfectly honest here. Everybody says that Law and Order is a very popular TV show, and a lot of people watch it, and that's why it's had so many seasons. I don't know anybody who's ever watched Law and Order.
I watched Law and Order.
I've seen like a couple episodes, but like
I've seen every episode of SVU, and that's just because Mariska Hargitay. That's it.
I was going to ask you what exactly kept you with that show.
Oh, Mariska, all day long.
Wait, so I won't even ask that because that's a whole rabbit hole. I don't even care to go down.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, dude. It's deep and it is freaky.
So Alice in Wonderland freaky or like Land of the Dead freaky?
No. Think Alice in Wonderland on an LSD trip.
All Mariska Hargitay has done is just like,
yeah,
it's all like police stuff.
At least Christopher Malone has kind of branched out. The guy who played Stanger, he kind of branched out a little bit. Now, if you haven't watched it, oh God, what was it? The show Happy. He plays a schizophrenic, and it is absolutely the funniest shit I have ever watched in my life. They see him talking to this unicorn, this imaginary unicorn, throughout the entire show.
Did you know that Mariska Hargitay was on Baywatch?
What?
She was on Baywatch, one episode, Second Wave, 1989.
The show with the unicorn, I thought they just did a different version of Wilfred.
Oh my god. That show was so dumb, but I couldn't stop watching.
It was so good. That was fucked up. That show was a fucked up show. Like, that was a show that when you finished watching the episode, you didn't feel good. But you feel happy while you like it was like art. It was so dark.
If you understood the entire storyline, you were fucked in the head.
Like, Wilfred was such a dark show.
I'm trying to find out if Elijah Wood was an executive producer.
He did such a good job in that.
He was in another movie between the Hobbits and that. And it was stupid and funny all at the same time. I can't remember it. He's made some interesting movie choices.
Dude, he's been in since Lord of the Rings. He's been in some fucking amazing stuff. He's also executive produced some great stuff. Dick Gently's Holistic Detective Agency is
so good.
It's not even.
The name of that movie is great.
I don't know. No, it's a TV show.
Whatever.
Seasons. It is so funny.
It's just, it is. He's.
Yeah, it's.
This is the idea. Elijah Wood is the ideal of someone who gets a whole lot of money and awards early in life, and then just doesn't give a fuck for the rest of his career. And he does whatever he wants to do as long as it's funny or fun and interesting. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's fucked up. But yeah, Wilfred.
I think it's just good that he's been able to resist getting typecasted. Because when somebody is in something as epic as that, it's easy to get sort of stuck in certain perceptions.
That's what and I actually had this conversation with somebody the other day. That's what Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all of them were talking about. You know, when their contracts ended, they said, we don't want to be married to these customers. Or to these characters for the rest of our lives. Well, sorry, you're kind of playing the most iconic characters in the history of comic books and now movies, and you're going to be.
Yeah, but RDJ quit.
Yeah, less than.
Holy, hold up. Sorry, we got to go back to Elijah Wood. He was in Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah, he was. He was a little kid at the arcade at the very beginning of the movie.
He was a child actor.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I just didn't realize he was in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
What was the other one? He was in Frasier, The Adventures of Huck Finn. What was a radio flyer. Like I don't remember him in any of these movies.
Back to the Future Part 2 was his first. That was his first time in a movie.
I
Did
definitely
he get credited
remember
for
in
it?
Huck Finn.
But yeah, if anyone wants to go back and watch Back to the Future 2, it's still a great movie. When they actually, in the very beginning of the movie, when they arrive in 2015 and they go into that like antique diner, there are those kids playing that arcade game. Or they're trying to play the arcade game. They're just like, how the fuck do you use this? And Marty McFly walks up, he's just like, I'll show you how to do this. And he shoots all the guys with the guns, and they're just like, you have to use your hands to play this game? It's a baby's game. And they walk out. One of those kids is Elijah Wood.
Nice. Also, did not realize that he voiced Sigma in Red versus Blue. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
Love
yeah.
Red versus Blue.
Old Rooster Teeth.
Blue. Yeah. God, that's great stuff.
That was back when Rooster Teeth was a small independent studio, and they weren't trying to cater to an enormous audience, and their content's gone slightly downhill.
Not the movie I was talking about, but probably my favorite Frodo movie is Green Street Hooligans.
Oh yeah, okay. That was the rugby.
No, the soccer.
Oh, the soccer hooligans. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chelsea grin and all that stuff. It's actually a really good movie, kind of a dark ending. But yeah, overall a good movie.
Also, I think it was really fucking hilarious that he played the love interest in Deep Impact. Elijah Wood and Lily Sobieski. What a wholesome teen couple.
Yes, that's where I remember from as well. He was, in fact, the movie that was trying to compete with Armageddon.
And Elijah
was one of the stars.
Yeah, he was. He played opposite Lily Sobieski, and their first date together was very contained and respectful, and he perhaps gave her a peck on the hand before heading home at 7:30.
Okay.
That was it. It's funnier if you know. It's not funny at all. Never mind. Wasn't Deep Impact the one with? Wasn't Deep Impact also the one with Morgan Freeman as the president?
Yep, President Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that was cool. And the lady whose name I can never remember, who went on to play every single character in every single Lifetime movie ever.
And so you guys aren't thinking we're completely crazy and not in video games. He also did God of War voice acting too in 2010.
So did Kevin Sorbo.
Yep.
Amazingly enough, he did Hercules in those games too.
Yeah, he was Hercules in God of War. Yeah.
Talk about being typecasted.
Right?
I bet he actually showed up to the studio. He's like pounding on the door. No, he just showed up to the studio. They came into work one day, and Kevin Sorbo was sitting in the lobby. He's just like, "Hey," they're like, "Aren't you Kevin Sorbo?" And he's like, "Yup." I was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm playing the voice of Hercules. Like, did we ask you to do that? When do I do it?
Just shows up and just walks in, fucks shit up, leaves.
Hey, where's the recording booth? I'm sorry, did the security guard let you onto the premises? Yeah, I brought my own microphone.
Where is that microphone? Don't worry about it.
If you have to ask, you don't want to know.
Gotta say, my favorite Frodo appearance, though, is probably in Sin City, where he played Kevin the Cannibal.
Yes.
Oh, that was good too.
God, that was good.
That it was another
He actually
good movie.
He did that. He
good
did that
actor.
on Break. Didn't he do that on Break? No, he was okay. He was done with Lord of the Rings by the time Sin City came out. But yeah, that was a fun role for him.
Wasn't he the guy who had his dick chopped off? He had no dick.
No, that was the son of the politician.
The yellow-green guy.
Yeah, the yellowish guy. Elijah Wood was the cannibal who was being protected by the priest.
Yeah, he got something chopped off. He got
his head cut off. That was great. That was a great movie. And then they made a sequel to Sin City, and nobody cared.
Well, you just can't I'm sorry, like those guys nailed it.
Yeah, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, it
The
was one
fuck?
of those, like, it was just, yeah. It shouldn't have worked, but somehow it did.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate description of Sin City.
I mean, for whatever reason, it's
Well, like, you put together a cast like that, it's almost bound to fail. Something with that many stars, just that big of a clusterfuck of a production. That's
I
a
mean,
lot.
look at the Expendables. Did I just go there? I'm sorry.
Oh God, it was
How
Nick
dare you?
Stahl. Nick Stahl played the Yellow Man, Rourke Jr.
Yes, I know. Look out, we're banned now everywhere because I made fun of Chuck Norris.
No,
Dude,
that's
no.
fine. Chuck Norris will just come up to your house and
Yeah, I was gonna say he'll just show up at your house and make you apologize for shit that you've never done.
and then you'll have a beer, and then he'll headbutt you, and everything will be fine.
So, how is it any different than being married?
Hi-oh! Hey, did anybody see a movie with Vin Diesel in it called The Last Witch Hunter?
Yes, it was
I
awful.
was gonna say I think I got it for free, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
It somehow has 6 stars on IMDb, and it also stars Elijah Wood, so I'm interested. It's got Michael Caine in it. Michael Caine, Vin Diesel, Rose Leslie is in this, Elijah Wood, Olafur Duri Olafansson, I pronounced that horribly. It's got some people in it. How can this be a bad movie?
Oh no, it was awful. It was they essentially.
Do we have to ask this?
I mean, it was Vin Diesel, but you know,
I think. I mean,
That is true.
It's
It's
not-
everything Vin Diesel does is
like-
bad.
Vin Diesel is the main character. Like, what was the Babylon? Was 2035 or whatever with Vin Diesel? Did you watch that?
Oh my. Yeah, was it not the one where he had to smuggle the girl through whatever, the wasteland or something?
Yes.
And
Yes.
basically nothing happened in that movie?
I think
There
the
you go.
only movie that I really liked Vin Diesel in was the Pitch Black series, and those were good movies in my opinion.
I like
Okay.
the Riddick movies.
Yeah, okay. I love the Riddick movies. The last one was a little bit lazy.
No, okay. The last one was a redo of the first one, so that
Correct.
which is probably explains why I like the most recent one and the very first one. The ones that came in between, they explored the lore of Riddick, and I didn't care. But the first one, Pitch Black, was good, and whatever the hell the recent one with Katie Sackhoff
Chronicles of
was
Riddick.
good. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
It's just called Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick was the second one. It's where he becomes the leader of the necromancers, and then Riddick is the one where they drop him on the planet, and Tomb's father finds him. I've only watched it a couple times.
I think that I'm fucking insane because I swear to God, Rose Leslie was on Downton Abbey. She fucking was. It's right here. Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. Never mind. Continue.
But you are
What about Richard B. Riddick?
are.
I know, I am.
We're good. The last one, the storyline was a little bit better. It was nice to see him get the girl. It was a little depressing in the first one to have him put in all that groundwork and then to have her get stabbed in the heart by.
Look, that was the whole point. That's why it was such a fucking good movie. It's just, it was raw and it was brutal, and it was exactly what the comic book portrayed Richard B. Riddick. His name is Dick B. Dick. It's exactly what Dick B. Dick is supposed to be all about. So I enjoyed the first one.
So, just as a side note, and in looking through Vin Diesel's acting credits, he was on a show in 2015 called Celebra D&D.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty well-known celebrity D&D player.
That is amazing.
He did
I actually have a little bit of
one-shot
respect
with
for him
Matt
now.
Mercer from Critical Role.
Nice.
Yeah, he puts in some work.
The thing that I admire most about Vin Diesel is when he posted those pictures on Twitter of him topless so that everyone could see his abs, and he did it to protest body shaming. That made a lot of sense and was very daring of him.
Yes, because he should be ashamed of them abs.
Damn.
Shame on you. Shame on you for
Shame
putting
on
in the
it.
work and having abs. The rest of us,
Look,
we don't
I
have
would,
time to
I-
put in the time.
I would put in the work, but I like tacos too much.
Time tacos. Sorry, time. I'll catch you later.
Exactly.
Tacos are really delicious.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
so
All right.
let's go. All right, let's go have tacos.
Yep. I think we're out. All right. We'll catch you all later. Thanks for joining. And thank you all for listening.
Wow, I didn't
Peace.
know this podcast was still going on.
Oh, that's awesome.